different? We're about to find out. Maokai, the first ban there for M3, and Rise, the first one from OMG, is Twisted Fate straight into the bin from Master 3.
Yes, smartly getting rid of that Twisted Fate. Win or lose lane, it didn't matter because Dade was doing well, but Cool was doing better. He had the team around the map starting to ramp up, and these bans are coming out fast.
Yeah, he can't afford to let Cool affect the other lanes. Dade was just fine in his lane as Hecarim, Callisto, the bans from OMG. Alistar, the final one from M3. Rek'Sai is open this time, so Loveling not going to get denied that. But it was Condi they really picked on, banning the Rek'Sai and taking the Gragas. This time it's M3 that take the Gragas away.
Yeah, the big question mark is now going to be, do they look for the Ezreal? Or are they worried that the counter pick that they just put on display is going to be shown again on the flip side?
Do they take Braum Ezreal?
They could.
They could. There's lots of options here. Shen's been a popular one as well. Alistar's not available, so can't take him. But plenty of power picks here. Cool especially. Nice open champion pool. Won't get the Twisted Fate, but his R is open if he wants it. Loveling might just take Rek'Sai here, but he's done some wacky stuff recently as well with the likes of the Nocturne. But it seems like OMG might be keeping it relatively standard with the first two picks. They take the Ezreal, and Loveling's going to get Rek'Sai. Oh, it's Braum.
There it is.
It's really smart from OMG.
Exactly what we thought they might want to do. Deny the Braum as the counter to the Ezreal. It does allow you to put the Ezreal mid lane. You don't have to go for, say, the Sivir as an example, just to bolster your strengths. You don't want to reveal your hand. The Ezreal can still be flex picked. So now you've got a potential bot lane or a potential support with a mid laner picked. The Rek'Sai is always going to be available for you. That's not going to be taken away unless they go Rek'Sai tops. Happened once in LPL, so don't write it off, but not likely.
No. And if there was ever a time for Dade to play Yasuo, could be now. Got to take the other wall away. We'll see what happens. Lupa considering a bit more of a carry. Top laner will take Rumble here, and it's actually Janna there for Love City, so going back to more of the engaged supports.
Yeah, they've gone for that Janna, the disengaged style to kind of negate Braum's strengths. They're going to be going for a very self-sufficient AD carry to bolster the strengths that Janna can provide. Maybe the Corki will be considered in the hands of SMLZ. Does play Corki. Caitlyn's also quite good if we want to consider what goes well with the Janna. I mean, there's a lot of options still available. The bot lane does want to be left to its own devices, though, in this game and not pressured like it was last. Yeah,
by the looks of things, though, OMG will keep it nice and standard here in this game. There's Shen, there's Rek'Sai. Again, standard stuff here for OMG, and Cool has not changed his summoners just yet.
No, it's very smart here from OMG, picking the two lanes that aren't AD or mid to still not reveal what they're actually going to do. It allows the counter pick as the last pick here for Amazing or for Cool or North, depending on what they actually want to do. Whereas they have to pick now SMLZ and Love CD.
Curious to see why Lupa picked Rumble with Maokai banned, but I guess he just wanted to play something a bit more impact. There's Tristana.
That's why. Because they've got AD mid.
Yep. That's a smart thing to do. Dade's thinking about it. Love City is like, come on, man, just play it. They take it. Dade's Yasuo back in the house. Oh, Cool. Do it. Oh, please do it.
Don't count
do
that.
it.
We know they like to troll with their hovers. It's a nice little hover to say it's a big skill matchup and it'll come down to the wire. But again, they can flex pick. The Ahri's not too bad of a decision. I think they'll default to actually having the Ezreal mid lane, though. We'll see.
Just take the Fizz. Just get him.
You could.
You could. I mean, this is the other nice thing about... It's funny, we've seen two different drafts with potential Ezreal flexes on both sides, and we might get really clever counter picks on both sides. It is actually Victor there for Cool, so not the hardest of counters, but certainly not a bad matchup by any stretch.
No, not at all. They've got the Shen into the Rumble as well, so there's a lot of strengths coming out of this OMG side. The direct laning phase of a Victor and a Yasuo, though, in particular, is fairly even. It's mostly farm-oriented. The difficult part is once the Victor has that big first item, the relative strength of a Victor can blow anybody up with that first item. So having these two in the direct matchup is pretty scary after about 15 minutes.
I feel like OMG might have made the same mistake that M3 made in the last draft, but I guess we're going to find out. Let's go through these matchups. Lupa on the Rumble versus Xiang on the Shen.
Yeah, they've got a very weird top lane. One damage-based, one tank base basically to help the rest of his team as we move to the jungle.
Yeah, Condi going to get Gragas. Rek'Sai, though, the obvious answer there for Condi as Dade back on a very legacy Dade champion versus Cool's Victor. SMLZ took the Tristana, actually. I assume that he might have expected this, and this might be his counter pick.
Yeah, so when you say self-sufficient AD carry, Tristana is the ultimate version of that with the ult to knock them away.
Yeah, Love City there as well. On Janna this time, I do like the pick into the Braum, like you mentioned earlier. There's some positive stuff going there as well.
Yeah, definitely. These team comps are both completely almost flipped to what they were in the last game, and we'll see if they can actually make it work for them again this time. The Yasuo into the Ezreal, it's now an AD because it was flexed. Almost deja vu.
Well, we'll see if it happens once again. Can OMG win, or M3 going to take it for the split? Let's get on to the Rift. And welcome back to game number 2 between OMG and M3. And he said it already, Rusty, deja vu, as it's OMG this time with the Ezreal flex pick.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually make the Ezreal work this time. There's no direct lane counter in that of the Braum. Instead, they've gone for the Braum Ezreal, and it does boost the strength of the level 1.
Yeah, and Amazing Braum looked good there as well. So I like all these choices by OMG. I love that they took Ezreal Braum together, as SMLZ is very close to getting completely wrecked. Oh, OMG coming in.
Okay.
Amazing positioning's pretty nifty. Does get tagged, but will not die. Didn't use summoners either.
But suddenly he's underneath his turret.
Yeah, seems to be okay here.
Yeah, he's going to get out quite all right, only using... I didn't actually use a summoner spell, did he? So that's actually a very good end result, but OMG have complete control of the jungle area now. It's up to them to make things happen. They're just going to probably prevent the 2v1 and maybe steal the red if they're feeling super adventurous, but in saying that, probably not. Knowledge
still power though. We'll get some wards down and at least get early vision as Dade, back on a champion he was incredibly famous for a long time, but into a tricky matchup here. Cool, especially with the exhaust, going to make life as miserable as he can.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult matchup to say the least for the Yasuo, but the early pressure that a Yasuo can provide, the level 2 in particular, it's very easy to actually have a direct trade that favors the Yasuo, just because you've got the cheese with the Ignite now available, whereas the Exhaust is more of a please don't kill me style of spell.
Yeah, more of a late game jeweler spell here, but Dade just wants to go in hard and often. I feel like last game he played so well but couldn't get anything done. Just wants to try and really hard carry a game. He's like, you know what, couldn't do it on Victor and I had items. Screw it, let's just go deep. Straight to the Yasuo.
Full tilt. Give me that mechanics carry. I am trying to win the game right now. So that's where he's going towards.
Oh, the zoning. Looper. Wow. Damage here at level... Looper. He missed the second up. And Love City's actually causing problems. Xiang, though, going to get the taunt down. There's a knock-up from Loveling. Love City. Too far forward. Good flash. But Loveling flash follows for the kill.
Janna, a very adventurous decision there from Love City, trying to stop them doing their own jungle pass as it is being mirrored by Amazing. The difference is, one is tanky.
Yep.
The other one's a Janna.
The other one's trying. Yes. It's Dade. Oh my god. He's so far forward in this lane, trying to punish Cool, but I think he knows and should expect jungle pressure. Dade almost always gets singled out. Yeah, Amazing's here as well. Level 1 Braum. We've seen this a lot from EDG Mako, actually. He loves to get aggressive early on with his Braum.
He does. Almost channeling Mako in that respect right now. Looking for an opportunity to get onto Dade, or at least being somewhere. He doesn't need to be top lane. There's no reason to have a 2v0 lane. So just kind of alleviating pressure or creating pressure that is just unknown to where he is.
And look, we saw this a little bit yesterday, I believe, from King, when they played the Gragas Vladimir Yasuo. Yeah, that was the comp. So there is definitely good combo potential here for M3. It's just a matter of, again, what happens in the lanes, because almost everything went wrong in the lanes in game 1.
Yeah, and the best part about that particular combo is they have the follow-up to engage on a Yasuo ultimate. In this case, they've got the equalizer for the exact same thing. If the Yasuo can hit that massive ultimate, or if the Gragas can combo it so that Yasuo can follow it up, the equalizer is guaranteed to be on top of every member suspended in midair.
And that's great damage there. So M3, can they get together the mid-game power? Unlock Dade's Yasuo and Looper's ROM while they put carries on their big players.
No.
OMG. Oh, M3 actually move into defend.
Yeah, so 3 members were seen walking by the Rek'Sai's Tremor Sense, which is why they didn't go for it. Instead, Xian just kind of poked his head out to say, I dare you to walk to the turret, just to delay them a little bit. But really nothing going to happen. All 3 members walking as a unit to ensure no one died.
And Looper just missing the second CS, but making a good attempt there as he avoids the potential pressure in the top half of the map. Dade, though, just going to go straight in.
Yeah.
And that's the max E there. You can see 2 points into it. Dade can do that as much as he feels safe to.
Not actually a very good trade there for Dade. Didn't have his passive available, so any trades that Cool put onto him actually favored Cool in the end. He still has pots. Dade has none. He has to recall pretty soon.
That's not good news for Dade, who's trying to get aggressive in the lane. Xiang barely missing that taunt onto SMLZ, trying to apply some early pressure here in the bottom lane. Amazing's here as well. He's only level 2, and Condi is trying to force this in mid lane.
Yeah, Dade wants this really badly. Gragas waiting in the wings to ensure something happens, but Amazing on that Braum.
I think they caught him. He's level 2, but actually pretty tanky.
He actually spotted the Gragas sitting in the lane, so he smartly walked a long way back around, and they knew.
Top lane now. Love City gets knocked up. Level 2. Jana's going to die to North. Looper should be the next target here. Loveling's pressure has been outstanding, and it's North that he keeps ganking for.
It's weird to see this, but it is working so well for them. North has the experience advantage in this case. He's ahead because he's laning against nobody. It is now the Rumble. And now because he's level 5 to 3, Rek'Sai can just appear and someone dies.
Dade got tagged. That's a good win wall. Condi's here as well, but there's the stun. Exhaust down as well. Condi bops Cool out of the way, but Cool's getting closer to 6. Another stun there from the auto. Dade gets a 3-man tornado, but he doesn't have his ulti, and Loveling claims another victim.
Loveling just feels on top of everything that M3 are trying to do. Condi in particular just has no answer. Amazing has been there, and now they're both there. The Braum passive going off twice in that little skirmish is just massive for these fights. And OMG starting to run away already with a big advantage.
You can see the difference that the supports make here as well. When you have lanes split up like this, we've already talked about it, Braum, his laning might not be great, especially kind of between, levels 3 and level 6, but man, is his early level and his roaming good.
Yeah, 100%. If you can use the passive in any type of skirmish on that stun, the magic damage Braum outputs afterwards is also increased. So his base damage is almost underrated as to how much he then deals. And in saying that, he's allowing people such as the Rek'Sai, doesn't need to use the flash, it wasn't even available, to actually catch people completely out of position. SMLZ though is
getting some free time against Xiang. Level 6 actually for Trist, as Condi going to actually make it happen. The Buster shot back, he wants it, but it might have been too much. Xiang going to get dropped here. Condi cleans him up, but Braum's here to try and kill SMLZ. Gives him the chair and takes him out. Now Condi going to receive a nado there. Good block from Amazing, but Condi will body slam to safety. Interesting dive there for M3, but they do get the trade.
That was a very questionable dive, but a fantastic taunt from Xiang. The whole reason that Tristana did go down there, stuck under the turret, could not flash away. And then Braum just comes in, throws the chair, easy kill.
And I like the attempt there from SMLZ, getting aggressive, knocking him back with his ultimate, but little too much there, we have to think, against the Shen. M3 feel like they're pushing a little too hard for some of these kills, and North, once again, reaping the benefits, going for that quick Manamune.
But that's exactly what it should be right now. OMG are pressuring them into making these over-aggressive decisions in attempts to find advantages where they otherwise would be none. So they do this Tristana play that no one would expect him to do, ever. But he does it. They find a kill. Unfortunately, the Braum is there to make the trade. But this is just OMG rotating very smartly and well-timed around, knowing what M3 are going for.
And the big carries again, Looper and Dade. Still trying to find some farm. Looper especially has been a bit stuffed. Xiang is as well, but Rumble's going to have to make the difference in the early fights here. Looper level 6 now, though. Going to have an okay time here. I have to think it's probably quite strong right now, even though the Spectre's Cal is being completed by Xiang, but it's Dade that's the real potential future problem, in that he's getting some farm now, but how much more will he get, especially with this much pressure?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure being applied to this mid lane from OMG. Dade's starting to struggle because Victor's ramped up his strength, has that instant wave clear, but is actually using it to zone to deny as much farm as he possibly can. And these two are literally holding hands.
Yeah, Amazing and Loveling and skipping around the rip together. They'll take the dragon together here as well, trending aggro back and forth as well. Lovely to watch here as the new Best Friends Club seem to have opened up here in OMG. It used to be Loveling Cool, but Loveling in this series has been almost everywhere but the mid lane.
He's been focusing a lot on the AD carry position, but keep in mind that Amazing has been spending a lot of time with Loveling elsewhere. So that is why they're naturally going back towards the Ezreal, towards North to find things.
Now Condi going to get ganked, exhausted, down, knock up there as well. Chaos Storm Gravity Field holds him in the air, and Loveling gets another kill. He's third of the game.
Yeah, OMG starting to ramp up really big right now. Loveling having the kills, not necessarily the ideal person to have them on, but he is just going to be this overbearing frontline force right now. Shen can kind of just sit back and be on peel duty because he doesn't need to be in the front line as much now. He's got a Braum and he's got a 3-kill Rek'Sai.
Yeah, very tanky, very quickly will Loveling be. As SMLZ still trying to collect some farm in the bottom side. Going for Blade of the Ruined King first. We've seen a bit more of this. We've started to see Tristana every now and then, it feels like. But I like what North's doing. I hope he's going blue build, but we'll have to see what he wants. He's at least going Manamune first.
Yeah, Tristana more of a sometimes champion. You don't often see her played. It's more of a, I just feel like playing Tristana type of pick. Has a bit of utility and matches the range later that a Jinx can output. So it's more of a ramping up style that has early utility and self-peel and escape, which is the big difference between the two. Jinx is much more susceptible to being killed. So when they pick the Tristana, you're more so thinking to yourself, a lane swap potentially, or they're looking at the enemy team putting a lane swap into effect, and they're just succumbing to the fact that it's going to happen, and let's just make the best of it.
Yeah, take those turrets quickly, which you can do with the explosive charge, but instead M3 sort of hanging out. OMG are honestly just having their run of this game. It feels like all the momentum that we might have seen from M3 in Game 1's just been deflated and taken out from under them.
You have to look at Dade again, though. In the first game, he was the one making the kills happen, whatever little kills they did actually have. In this game, he's still farming quite well. He's 10 behind, but he's a Yasuo that'll spike with that static shiv when it's completed, and he's still getting the farm as required. You look at the Rumble then, and you think that he's maybe dying.
Yeah, Xiang coming in, equalizer's good, but Loveling is going to face tank the damage and gets another kill. Condi comes in late, but he gets to kill Xiang. Now going to get chased down, but he taunts his way to safety.
He's got the body slam.
Lining it up again, double buffs here. Xiang tanking quite a bit of damage, but he can't quite finish the second kill.
No, but he did come in at the right time. A little bit too late, but early enough to find a kill at the very least. They're starting to ramp up a tiny bit M3, not comparable to OMG, as we're looking at this.
Yeah, Cool just running down Dade. Dade forced to pop a wind wall and then run away from Cool. Probably needs to go back and shop here. Cool, he's got that first upgrade. He's got double thrones. He's in complete control of the mid lane right now.
He's actually just standing aggressively in mid to have the option of freezing it if he would like by stacking the minions there, which is very cute and not often seen in a mid lane, which is such a short lane.
Exactly, but OMG, Cool especially right now, he's got two friends in his back pocket at all times. He gets the knockup, gonna go in, pops the last breath, but Stench United's down. 4 members ganking the mid lane as Dade flashes out, but Loveling will follow in with a tunnel. Now Dade trying to sneak away there, gets another Q, has a knockup at the flash. Braum is in there, he's still alive somehow, but he gets clipped by a flash taunt. Will die now. Looper in trouble as Condi trying to chase out Cool, but it's a little too much. He gets the double barrel slow, but Condi tagged by a Winter's Bite has to run Cool, gonna chase him down. They might not get the kill. They're gonna look for it. Amazing, still chasing. SMLZ kills North in the bottom lane with a bit of help there from Love CD, but OMG will claim the mid turret.
That was a very close fight in the bottom lane. You can see the flashing health bar of SMLZ as he's now in the base healing that back up. Considering North has been alone for the entirety of this game, you can see Loveling and Amazing have actually, like I said, they were holding hands. They haven't not been holding hands at the moment. It's just becoming a joke.
Sticky tape together at this point.
Yeah, they're tied together.
Xiang and Amazing now going to group in towards the top half and try and take out Looper. Looper in a bit of trouble potentially as his flash gets taunted, tagged by Winter's Bite. Wrong passive coming, knockup's there. Looper pops down his ultimate, but he's exhausted. He flashes out, but Amazing gives him the chair, gets another kill.
Braum is massive. He's 203 as a Braum.
Oh no.
He may as well build full tank Braum and just be another frontline member. He's not going to be with his AD carry from what we have seen so far in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes immediately into, say, a Righteous Glory or the Aegis and gets tanky items for the rest of his team.
And look, North's been fine here. Ezreal's a really self-sufficient AD carry, despite the 2v1 that he just lost in the bottom half. You know, he's got his build to order, he's building Blade of the Ruined King. Very utility-focused Ezreal build.
But the fact that the 2v1 was that close and that he can sit here and still aggressively position himself to at least get the farm, which is a big factor in this lane. He's keeping up in farm in a 1v2, is allowing this Braum to walk around the map and do as he would please.
I'm mostly surprised that OMG still have turrets standing here as SMLZ now going to get tracked by North and Amazing. They'll give it up here, but the tower's still not dead. And this is a Tristana that hasn't been able to claim a turret in a 1v1 or 2v1.
Yeah, struggling right now, this bot lane of M3. There's a lot of pressure placed elsewhere, so they know that Condi's not able to be nearby, and they know that there's no jungle pressure from Loveling either. So the fact they haven't got the turret in a 1v2 raises some questions. But again, the Ezreal was so far ahead in experience that they've only just recently caught up to that.
Yeah, and now Amazing going to take some damage. SMLZ actually outputting reasonably significant damage, but North actually gets the stun with a nice auto. Love CD going to get stunned up as well. No, needed one more auto, but a very close call there in bottom lane.
That was very close. The Braum has come back to support his AD carry with all of the items in the world.
Oh, Condi.
Oh
Dade actually gets the knock up onto Cool. That's who they want. The Stanchion Dade down though. Dade eats the Chaos Storm, and it might be too much damage. Dade's still alive, but will fall now to North as Loveling barely gets out alive. Cool will die to Condi in and amongst it all, but it's just not quite enough.
No, they do get away with only one person going down here, OMG. Loveling barely getting out with his life, but in saying that, I actually just noticed that Cool completely upgraded his Hex Core to have everything in there. It knocked them around after he got knocked up, almost got out with his life. But the aggressive positioning from Condi is what secured that kill.
And now Rek'Sai going to take a tunnel with a Void Rush down to the Dragon, and OMG will collect Dragon number 2 here in this game. And it is an interesting build from Cool. I think it's fine. Like, the Hex Core is such an efficient item, and you do want it anyway. I'm curious to see where he goes next, but Cool. Just all the damaging utility he could ever need. It's super early mid-game focus, but it's paying off nicely.
I mean, it's an efficient item, but then it's also per level scaling in efficiency, so it's not necessarily that efficient if you're looking to get through the mid-game against the Yasuo, who has a static shift and is now ramping up to be able to best him in laning phase, which is unusual to say of a Yasuo-Victor matchup. So direct impact, I'm guessing that Cool is going to go immediately into more scaling AP items, potentially just straight into a death cap from here.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool build actually from Cool here. See if he skips that cooldown reduction, but curious to see where he goes. Hasn't gone too far just yet, but certainly has some points already into those abilities, all powered up now. Dade still farming up those. Static Shift done. Vampire Acceptor now. See if he goes for the God V special, that Trinity Force Yasuo, or if you're going to stick it to more traditional builds and maybe go Bloodthirster or Blade. But right now, M3 are still scaling up, and OMG are ahead, but actually not that far ahead. 2,000 gold ahead with 2 Dragons is a decent lead, but it's not the same turbulent, fast-paced game we saw from OMG in game number 1.
It feels like the dust has settled in this game just a little bit, and everything has almost gone back to standard. But then you take a step back and look at what has actually gone down, and you're finding yourself a 5-1 Rek'Sai who has all of the team in the world to back him up. So many kills onto the important members of this team that actually are not just the Rek'Sai, that Ezreal's starting to ramp up as well and be quite huge. And then you look at the flip side from M3, they're struggling to find gold onto the important targets. They do have them onto the Gragas, but he's been mostly cleaning up on the back of actually reacting to engages that OMG have been putting into effect. So a lot of gold has gone missing.
Yeah, it's actually both junglers that are relatively fed, as North and SMLZ will have another battle. Stand United going to make that fight unfair as Love City joins in just in time to scoot them out with the tornado, but OMG going to get themselves another turret. M3 did get 2, so they did manage to fell the turrets in the top and bottom side, and all of a sudden map opened up wide on both halves now.
Yeah, the top lane turret, the only one remaining, but Xiang spending more time not in top than he is in top. So not too bad overall as a result. Looper starting to have to push a little bit deep to make sure he can continue to get the farm. And that is where he is at risk now of being killed by a 5-1 Rek'Sai. Loveling not up there to focus it just yet, but it's getting pretty scary.
He's got a tunnel there. He can kind of join whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Looks to be doing anything. Cool blue buff first here, and Cool actually has cooldown boots. So sticking with sort of the utility theme here early on.
Yeah, and living up to his name as well.
Yeah. Cooldown reduction.
Yeah, cooldown. Yeah.
Blue buff now for Cool. Even more of that cooldown reduction.
He's gone straight to the lucidity though, is the cooldown reduction that he would otherwise be missing. If the speculation is correct that he's going for the CDR stacking build, then he'll go Morello's into raw damage, I would hope. Otherwise, I don't really see the efficiency of upgrading your Hex Core first.
Yeah, that's the part that is interesting. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but your standard Victor fare is just like, get 2 upgrade points and then build your first major item like Morello's or Athene's, usually Morello's.
Yeah, you could even just go for the 1 upgrade, then go Morello's, then the 2nd upgrade, because you want some CDR sooner rather than later.
Well, we'll see what Cool does here, as he's got, again, lots of utility. Upgrading on Hexor, got his boots. We'll see what he wants to do. It smells like there's a lot of swords in the bottom lane. Actually, neither of those build into a static shift, so not too sure he's going just yet with the build, but does have an Avarice Blade. Nice block, though. Ah, it could be Ghost Blade, Brutalizer. Yeah. I like it.
Early game, or mid-game pressure, rather, but he's also building it quite late as his second item, if that is the option that he's done.
Yep.
That's it.
There he goes. SMLZ Ghost Blade. I mean, Looper and Dade are both sort of scaling. They do need more mid-game power. I guess if you have to make room for your Yasuo, you need to be able to do damage right now.
It's not even that they're making room for the Yasuo. They are kind of bridging him in a way, but they've got the Rumble, and that's one exclusive mid-game power spike from this team. So they've added a second one by build order, essentially, from this Tristana. So they're team fighting as 5. Probably going to happen very soon because they've got the Ghost Blade there.
Dade caught now. Damage over the walls of the Chaos Storm's a little too much. Condi finds Cool, pops him back into the team. Dade going to get the ulti down, but Cool flashes out. Death beams Dade. Now SMLZ, who taunts, Jiang actually taunts Love City. SMLZ is still alive somehow. Hasn't quite joined back in yet as Condi goes down next. Loveling able to chase there for another one. Flash taunt from Chiang makes his second taunt of the fight. Looper stunned up by the Braum passive. Ulti from Ezreal gets the kill. SMLZ going to get knocked up and chased down. And it's too much. OMG take the clean ace.
They sit in a bush with a pink ward and they wait for M3 to make a mistake. That is exactly what just happened as they walk too close. They find a turnaround point. Dade gets the ultimate off, but he had no health before he got the ultimate, instantly dying. And you can see even the completely upgraded Victor right there, knocking the Janna back into the middle of them and ensuring that they go down. You have to give a lot of credit in this to the Braum, though, but has just been making everything happen with his passive stun.
Yeah, Amazing and Loveling have done an excellent job together, making the early game as good as it has been here for OMG. And with that, they take Baron after getting a tier 2 turret in mid, 3-2 up in turrets, 14-4 up in kills, and 8,000 gold ahead. This whole series has felt like vintage OMG. Just fast, brutal, and bloodthirsty.
Yeah, bringing it back to their basics right now, this OMG side. And what a better time to do it as well, up against M3. But they just turn on this engage. And at first, you're looking at the M3 side in this game and thinking they brought it back.
Loveling?
He ulted to the worst possible position right there.
Gets his tunnels collapsed, but the rest of his team is coming. He's pretty tanky. He's got a spirit, but jeez, he's really tanky.
Yeah, he is super tanky.
Oh, Dragon's up, that's why. Loveling wants to try and pressure it. Xiang's waiting for his ultimate to come back up here. Standing United not quite there. Teleport is available, though. And M3 just zoned off this Dragon. They don't have strength to fight here.
Oh, no, they do not. They also have to enter the Shen, conveniently pushing that top lane down. Oh, nope, didn't get it.
Good attempt by Looper, but Loveling will smite it away. So Equalizer down now, M3. They didn't already have to cede control of the map. They really have to cede control now.
Yeah, the Baron buff minions and a Shen sitting in the top lane. The Baron, the Dragon, the third one goes down. The entirety of this map is now in the favor of OMG, and they're starting to cede mid.
Yeah, it just all belongs to OMG. Dade Winwall's down north, but he'll keep putting shots in onto the turret. Tries to find a knock-up, doesn't get it. Amazing eats a nado, but OMG just going to zone them off this turret and break that base.
Amazing and Loveling are so tanky right now. North and Cool are just able to sit behind them and just play pseudo-aggressively.
Loveling's just diving in. Stand United's there as well. SMLZ lucky to get away. The knockup's there. Love City, though, gets absolutely destroyed. Braum will die to Yasuo, but Dade's already used that ulti. SMLZ trying to find North. Has popped his Ghost Blade. Trying to go back in, but too far behind. Not enough in the tank there for M3.
A lot of aggression. They push them away from a potential end, and they do get a pick onto the Braum. But he's not the key target that needs to go down. A very nice usage of his shield to block any chance of a Yasuo tornado hitting multiple members. And it feels like the trigger finger was ready from Dade, but it was completely denied.
I mean, Dade at this point just wants somebody dead, so he does get a kill. But zoned off by the gravity field. OMG get 2 inhibitors off that Baron buff here. That is more than you ask for usually off Baron.
He did it. He actually did what we speculated he would. The mid laner of OMG Cool has gone for the most efficient AP scaling Victor build in history.
I mean, he's obviously insanely strong now.
Yeah. So there was, funnily enough, it wasn't that efficient when he fully upgraded just the Hex Core, but now that he's gotten through that hiccup, or in terms of, it wasn't even a power trough, it was just not a power spike that most other Victors have at that point in the game. He's now unstoppable in terms of damage output. No one can match that.
No, and I think we're going to find that out relatively soon here as Loveling Trying to babysit this blue buff here. Dade is found amazing and cool. That's not who he wants to find, though. Dade going to try and make an outplay. Good win wall. Needs to knock up, finds it. Can't ulti. He's stunned by Braum. Nice exhaust. And Cool gets the kill. Now turns onto SMLZ. And he's running away from the Chaos Storm.
That was just an ultimate. That's how much health SMLZ took from that. That is gross.
That is
Cool
gross.
is just so far ahead, but you have to give a lot of credit again to Amazing. The fact that the stun connects at the same time as the tornado, actually denying Dade any attempt to follow that up with his ult himself, goes down very convincingly. The rest of OMG have now grouped up around the bottom lane where they found the picks. This is potentially the third inhibitor. And Loveling's just a tank in the front. He doesn't care.
He's in the base.
He does not care.
Managed to infiltrate the enemy base.
The submarine has entered.
Zoned 4 people away from the turret in M3. They just can't defend. Dade is back. Might be going for a last-ditch effort at this point, but M3 are quite literally running out of things to give away. As Dade, he's going in. He's going to try and make it happen. Looks for the ulti. Doesn't quite get it. Sanch United onto North, and it's just kills there. Gragas is dead. Dade is dead. Looper does get a kill onto the Braum. North gets a decent ult onto SMLZ, but OMG 4v3 still here in this base, and they're going to look to close it out.
Yeah, being very aggressive and trying to find kills. They need to be a little bit careful, but the minions starting to overwhelm right now. They don't have it.
Cool gets killed. Tried to get a few too many kills, got greedy. Ends up going down, but OMG will be able to take away the Nexus. No, SMLZ trying to make it happen, but he can't quite finish it. And OMG get the 2-0 and claim full control of third place.
They have outright got themselves that position, so well done to OMG. And it wouldn't be a win without Cool suiciding at the very end of it, just to make it another OMG game. They played that so well from the very beginning again. Their drafting was smart. They got the Ezreal with the Braum. They didn't get the counter pick on the other side of M3. And try as they might, the best friends club was just superior.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That's what I felt like OMG was saying to M3 there with that draft.
Very much
I
so.
said it. They flashed the Yasuo. I'm like, yeah, Yasuo's a really good pick here. I'm like, yeah, Dade, pick Yasuo. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I got Victor.
They dared him to do that.
He
and they
picked
flexed it. North did it better.
Yeah, it's just a very different Ezreal build as well, but a bit more attention, a bit more love, and Amazing and Lovely. Holding hands all game long, and Amazing finally having a breakout series, I feel. His Braum looks spectacular all series long.
Yeah, Amazing really stepping up, and he showed in this game. You have to say, though, Loveling did a lot of work also. The fact they found all of these kills, this early pressure, the movements around the map, this OMG side, especially with the self-sufficient North now, who can sit in his own lane and not be attended, they look almost unbeatable.
They do, and it's, again, when OMG gained momentum, they just never let go of a game. Game 2 was even slower than Game 1. They went absolutely off in Game 1 with the Twisted Fate and kind of reined it in cool. Kind of took a while, kind of flattened the power curve of the build, and then by the end of the game, it was just too much. Loving and Amazing made sure there was enough work to be done. Didn't need the other divers, didn't need top lane Nunu eating minions and diving turrets. It was just classic OMG.
Yeah, they had the Shen up there instead, just to have the extra shield to go with the Ezreal, who was just sitting by himself, letting his team carry.
Yep, and it was a great looking game there. OMG take the series 2-0 and now retain sole control of third place, but don't go too far away. When we return from the break, it is